Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Woman. I'm Angela Giles, and over there, my amazing co hostess is Galit Ventura Rosen. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how to navigate your finances during these uncertain times, and we are Everyday Woman. So, I'm going to share a little bit about what Everyday Woman is all about before we get started so you understand it is Glee and my honor to serve you tonight. And that's what Everyday Woman is all about. It's you plus me equals community. We started this Everyday Woman um, thought. It came to fruition in October. We have done so much. It is really, truly a woman's movement that supports and uplifts women to be the very best version of themselves. We now have, just so you know, go to everydaywoman.me. We now have a podcast, a TV show, a free daily planner, tons of programs, printables, products, things that there's a lot of free resources. There's also other items that you can look at. And we just love this. We're super excited. And we're all about giving back to you, especially right now in these uncertain times. So that's why we're doing this class tonight. Super excited. So let's move on, Galit. So the two brainchilds are Galit on the left and Angela on the right. And just so you know, Galit, why don't you just give like a 2 little second snapshot about who you are for the people that don't know you that might be watching later?
Absolutely. So my name is Galit Ventura Rosen. I've lived in Vegas, Las Vegas, for over 34 years. We call it Vegas, shorter. I have 3 kids, 2 puppies, 2 bunnies, and a doggy, and an amazing man in my life. And I run a few businesses, commercial professionals. I also run Empowering You, and now our new venture with Angela, which is Everyday Woman.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Galit. I'm Angela Giles. For those of you who don't know me, I've ran an online marketing business now for 18 years. I love helping women. It's a big portion of my life is service. I have 3 kids, ages almost 16 to 20. I have a husband of 21 years, and we have 3 dogs, from a pit bull to a Maltese to a dachshund, and they're crazy and fun. And my household is very crazy right now. So I'm excited to be part of the Everyday Woman movement and to share with you tonight. Awesome. So the very first thing that we're going to be talking about is your money mindset and really how to stay in an abundant mindset. And I mean, let's be real. We know that right now it's probably one of the most difficult times that you've been through. At least it is for me. I mean, this came out of nowhere. It's like, wow. And I consider myself someone that tries really hard to be in alignment, especially with money, and it's a growing edge for me. So what I wanted to do was have Galit hop in here and talk a little bit about how you can stay in abundant mindset, because she is the queen of this.
Thank you. I'm the queen of trial and error with a bit of success. So the reason we wanted to start with this is we wanted everybody that's watching to hold on just a second.
Yeah, let's mute yourself if you
Sorry,
come
go ahead. We're all set now. Don't worry about it. Sorry
Okay.
about that. We have people joining and they weren't muted. What I want more than anything is anyone that's watching right now, live or in replay, I want you to just take a moment and close your eyes. And there's a reason for this, because there's so much going on that I really want you to be open to really learning what's happening in this presentation, all of the opportunities that we're going to be offering you to support you, to help you, to empower you, and to guide you. So I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes for a few minutes and just take a few deep breaths. And what this does is closing your eyes allows you to kind of shut out what you're seeing and put it aside. And for the next 30 to 45 minutes, what I want more than anything is for you to just be present. That's the first thing that I want to do. Now, how are you present? You put your phone on vibrate or turn it off. You make sure that all the doors are closed if you have any, or everybody's put away in a sense, so you can have some quiet, so you can have some you time. Now, let's talk about money mindset for a few minutes. This in itself can be its own class, and Angela and I will probably put one of these on very soon. when you think about money, I want you to think about pre, what's happening right now, and then what's happening now, because they're totally different. Where were you and where was your relationship with money before? Now, this sounds kind of funny. You might think, well, what do you mean my relationship with money? Well, money is actually something you can have a relationship with because you could believe in it. You could not believe in it. You could love it. You could hate it, believe it. Some people hate money. I know it sounds crazy. You want to think about how you felt about money before. Now, how do you do that? You ask yourself, do I feel like I deserve to have money? Do I feel like I deserve to have a lot of it? Do I like money? Do I love money? What is it that I feel when I hear the word money? And I have a funny story to tell you. Sometimes I'll be on with a client or an interview and they'll ask me about money mindset and I'll say, I love money. And it throws people off because you're not supposed to say that. Well, yes, you are, a lot. I really love money. Then you ask yourself, well, why? Why do I love money? Well, for me, it's because I get to take care of the people that I love. I get to put a shelter over our heads. I get my children that get to go to college. So there's a lot of different things for each person. Now, it could be materialistic. I don't care why you love money, but I want you to ask yourself those questions. And today, which is post or pre or during, whatever. Pre is before, now we'll call it the present. At this moment, it's easy to focus on what we don't have because a lot of us, our income has stopped, and I hope that yours hasn't. But for a lot of people, it has. So now it's easy to focus on what we're not going to have and what we don't have. So I want you instead to focus on what you do. I don't care if it's 30 cents. That's 30 cents more than the next person. So I want you to start focusing on what you have. So those mindset pieces, when all of a sudden they start going to worry and concern and, oh my gosh, where's the next money going to come from? And I'm not making as much as I did last week or last month and everybody's income has stopped. Focus on what you have. That in itself will help you. And the next thing that I want to do, this one's a really big one, is when you think of money and having a lot of it, because you want to keep thinking about having a lot of money so that way you can be open to it. I want you to feel the emotion, the excitement. And I'm going to share something with you. Sometimes when I have a big deal that's about to close, when I take a shower, I will actually jump up and down without falling, and I will get so excited about the money that I'm about to make that I will just feel it like I already got it. There's something so powerful. Sometimes I'll even start crying out of emotion and excitement because of gratitude of all the money that I have and all the money that I'm going to have soon. So I want you to think about that. It might sound crazy, ladies, but I'm telling you, in my studies, I've learned this, and it's so effective. Some of the other things that you want to do is you want to keep a gratitude journal. I'm grateful for, very huge. The words I'm grateful for, I'm thankful for, I believe, I have. Those words are very powerful. If you are struggling in your money, you want to work with somebody that's an expert. If it's a financial expert, if it's a money coach, if it's a mindset person, I don't care. Think about those things and find someone that could help you, even if it's a girlfriend that you're going to talk to. And then sometimes more than anything, we appreciate what we have when we can help others that are less fortunate. So at times, service to others is really the key to an abundance mindset.
Absolutely.
And if anybody has any comments or questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat and I'll make sure to read them. Take it away, Ange.
All right. So the next thing that we want to talk about is the very first things. If your money has decreased at all, and even if it hasn't, but you're thinking, okay, I really want to take a look at this, we feel like it's really important. The very first thing you do is prioritize the bills you can pay. So this is just our suggestions, but of course it's completely up to you what you do. Some of the things that you can do are, think about what is most important for you to take care of right now. Food, right? Is there a way that you can get more food for your dollar? Is there a way for you to stretch your budget? Some of us cook a lot. Some of us go out to eat more. Is there a way that you can perhaps put a meal plan together? Or is there a way that you could support some of the local restaurants in town by ordering out? There's just different things like that that I would encourage you to look at for yourself. The other thing that you could do is take a look at your utilities. I know this for a fact. I was switching around some things for us, and I was putting my utilities on a card, and um, I called up Cox and I was paying it. I mean, no, we're fine. And they said, are you okay? And I'm like, we're fabulous. We can pay it, no problem. I don't need payment arrangements. And they said, well, thank you for being, so helpful, but here's a $20 off your bill just by calling and having that conversation, right? So it's just about having the conversation. And if you need to make payment arrangements, most of the utilities right now are willing to do that. The second thing is your rent or your mortgage. Now, there's different people that are watching this from, not just, Galit and I are both here in Vegas, but there's people that are watching from other states or perhaps even in other parts of the world. But right now, I will tell you that in a lot of states right now, and even I believe our government, they have deferred rent for a few months. You can't be evicted. You can contact your landlord. You can let them know that you're being affected by COVID-19 and or your mortgage company. And I'm going to share with you on the next slide exactly what we recommend stating. You can get your mortgage payments deferred up to, in some cases, like 3, 6, 12 months, depending on where you're at. So the next thing is your credit cards. I would like you to think about, lay out your credit cards if you have any credit card bills, and think about, okay, which ones could I pay now? Is there any I need to contact and defer a month or two? They're willing to work with you. In fact, I would recommend you go to their website, because a lot of them now, like for example, I know Bank of America has this and Wells Fargo have actually, I went to Bank of America today to pay a different credit card, and I saw that they had, if you need help because of COVID, click here. I didn't click there because I didn't need that, but I'm letting you know that that's available. Insurance, if you have life insurance, car insurance, home insurance, all of those, if you need help, reach out to the companies and see what you can do. I do know that some car insurance companies like Geico and things like that are willing to work with you. Other miscellaneous bills. So I want to share with you, if you have other miscellaneous bills, like for example, my husband had heart surgery several years ago, and my son had a lot of medical bills maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I'm still, because there were thousands and thousands of dollars, we're still making payments on some of those bills. So what I did is I thought, okay, those are my lowest priority right now. So I contacted them and I'm like, look, I need to pay less, and here's what I can pay. And they're like, okay. They were just happy that I was willing to make something. So, and I'm not saying that I'm not telling you what to do. I'm sharing with you what we have done and what we recommend, and what I'm hearing out there, talking to different people and other things online that we research. Galit, do you have anything else you would like to add here?
I think that was perfect. I think Angela said it so well. She said the word deferred. Just be cautious.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hearing, and you have to understand, we're getting constant information that's new every day.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hearing is a few things. Some of the mortgage companies will defer your payments for 3 or 4 months or more, but then you'll have it all due then. Some of them, I'm hearing, will take those payments and tack them on to the end of your loan. So make sure you ask, because the last thing that you want is in 4 months to owe 4 times your mortgage or rent.
Right.
For example, if you're renting, what I would do is have a conversation with the landlord and say, look, I have no income coming in right now. You're protected, because as of today, they're not allowed in most states, and I know the national government said it as well, to evict anybody during the state of emergency or national emergency. So what you can do is, and they're also not allowed to send you collections or shut off your utilities in a lot of the states, if not all of them. So what you want to do is have a talk with your landlord and say, hey, look, why don't you, and I know Angela's covering this on the next one, but I'm going to cover the rental one. Why don't is it possible for me to defer my rent and then just increase my rent once I start working again, $200 a month or $300, whatever it might be that you can afford. And that way you're not getting tacked on right away.
And I love that. And I want to share with you two experiences that I've heard today that will be complete opposites from different landlords. So I have a friend and she wrote her landlord and said, look, I can't make the full, $1,950 on the first, but I can pay you on the first and on the 15th, I'll split it. And he was a jerk. And, you're going to run into that sometimes. On the flip side, there's my brother. He has like 30 rentals. 10 of them may or may not be able to pay or whatever. And he obviously wants them to, have a place to live. But he told me today, he's like, Angela, not only do they can't pay rent or only part of it, but he pays the water in some cases. I don't know if he pays utilities. So he's a landlord and he's having to not to even pay the utilities. So my suggestion is think about not only yourself and your own situation, but also think about your landlord and what your deal is with them. If it's a case like my brother, he's very nice, kind, generous, will work with people. If you could pay part, like even $50 towards a water bill, if that was your case, and he obviously will work with you for the rest, those are the kind of things I think that in these kind of times, we need to be mindful of all the situations that are involved. So I just wanted to share with you those two experiences. So let's go on here. And I would like to share with you something super critical. When you call any of these places, your credit card companies and your mortgage companies especially, even your utilities, here's what I found out. If you call the company and say, hey, I can't make my mortgage payment, or I can only make part of it, or your credit card, I lost my job, or I got my hours cut down, they'll say, okay, but a lot of them can't give you help. You have to actually say it is due to the COVID-19 crisis. That's like part of the, I don't know if it's the law, but it's like the language. You have to say that. And then all of a sudden, it opens up all the different programs and things that they've made available. So I would say to you, if that's the only takeaway that you take away from this today, remember when you call, you must say, because of the COVID-19 crisis or pandemic, or however you want to phrase it.
And one more quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
The calls, most of these companies are being overwhelmed by calls. So what they're doing is they're doing a lot of chat boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was having problems with Amazon yesterday, and it had a little paragraph that said, due to the virus, we're not taking calls, and I had a chat. So if there's an opportunity to chat with them on their sites, which most of them do, pick that, because you'll wait on the phone for hours.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Galit, because one of the things I was going to say is in some states, the unemployment is horrendous. To get onto the unemployment, where you file for unemployment. So the suggestion is get up in the middle of the night when the website's up, because the websites keep crashing. So that's another thing for you to think about.
Good. I love that. That's a great piece of advice. I didn't even think about that, because websites are so overwhelmed that if you are trying to get on one of these sites and you can't, then get up extra early or extra late, and just take in consideration the East Coast is 3 hours ahead if you're on the West Coast.
Right. Okay. Galit, I love this topic, and you are super queen of this. So I'm going to let Galit.
Yeah, I've actually myself done this. So right now we had two things happen in the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to do my best to explain it. We had the bottom part of this, which is the economic injury disaster loan. Now they have the same name, but I'll explain to you the difference. The bottom one is the one that came out right away, like 2 weeks ago, when the president said we're in a national state of emergency. That one you have to go in. It's a long application process, and don't worry, you'll get all these links, so you don't need to copy them or anything. It gives you up to $2 million. You have to put up your tax returns. It takes a good 20 or 30 minutes, as long as you have all your information together. That one can be denied. This is the difference. The top one that you're seeing on this PowerPoint just came out 2 or 3 days ago. This one is actually offering up to $10,000. Now, what they're calling this application is the streamlined. I actually did both these applications. The top one does not affect the bottom one. So you can still apply for the bottom one. And if you get denied, you can still get the top one. And what happens is, when you go to these links, it'll take you to the right application. all right? If you go to the actual page, which is the COVID-19 relief.sba.gov, they'll have a middle button, that's the bottom one up to 2 million, and then they'll have a yellow banner at the top that you can click on for the top one. I suggest anybody that has a formed entity apply for this top one. Anybody, because that money is there for you. And solopreneurs qualify, just so you know.
Right. And I found out something just a few, like right before this, Galit. I have a friend in Idaho that actually was hired to be like one of the people that like looks at these loans and ask people can ask questions, whatever. And she said that they're like, it's like, do it now. She told me, she's like, if you're going to do this, do it now. And I'm like, I already did, because Galit told me to. Because it's really first come, first serve, like until it runs out kind of thing.
Yes. And
So,
I'm so tapped in, and we'll be talking about some of the sources of how, that I knew about the second loan the day it came out, because I'm so connected to the organizations in Vegas, and they're doing such a good. Now, these are national loans. These are not related to a state. So anybody can do these, but I highly, highly suggest it.
and once again, we're recording this and you'll get this so you don't have to write down everything.
There's going to be a lot of links, ladies, and you're going to actually get the physical PowerPoint to copy and paste them so you can use them.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Galit. So let's talk about resources from the government to help you through these tough financial times. So the first thing we wanted to talk about was, no matter what city you're in, you should have a local chamber of commerce available for the most part, unless you're in a tiny, tiny town and then you go to the next big town. So what we wanted to share was an example for Las Vegas, right? So we shared with you the vegaschamber.com, and they actually have COVID-19. So you can go there and you can see all the resources that are available for Vegas. I highly recommend that you go here if you're from Vegas, but if you're from somewhere else, I would suggest Googling your local chamber of commerce and seeing what the resources they may have online, or you can, depending on what's going on with your state. I don't know if some of them are working or not, but you could call, see if they have recorded information, whatever, however you would like to do that. The next thing is, I would suggest the next place you go is your state. So for example, in the United States, now, once again, if you're watching this from a different country and you have territories or however that breaks out for your country, this may or may not be applicable. So I'll share from the United States perspective. You could look at, in Nevada, I did some searching and I found incredible information on one of the senators' websites. So I put that there as an example. The senator laid out all these resources. So if you don't find a lot of information on your state website, I encourage you to look at the senators' websites and see what you can find. Once again, it's totally up for suggestion, and this is by state. So I highly recommend you do that. The next level up is national government benefits. So this is for the United States. We put the link here for the United States benefits. So if you're not in the United States, Google the name of your government. Like if you're Canada, Google Canada, government COVID-19 resources, something like that. The same, like if you're in Spain, do the same thing and see what's available, because here's the thing. On mainstream TV, you may hear a lot of things, but there's also a lot of small programs that come up. There's also people that are wealthy or organizations that give things that may not make the media. So it's super important for you to go through these different levels and see what you can find. Like, for example, here locally, there's so many organizations that are doing really cool things. One example is for homeless people. There was several organizations I knew that came together and created these little bags of necessities called blessing bags, I believe. So there's just so much out there that you can do. So these are the resources we wanted to share with you as it relates to this. Is there anything, Galit, you would like to add?
I do want to share with you that the chambers specifically are listing things for employees, for businesses, for students. I mean, so much information that there was no way we could talk about every single thing. But I want you to know that if there's something specific you're looking for, type in what you're specifically looking for, type in your state, and most of the states are doing a really good job of keeping those people up to date on the newest and latest. And remember, it's constantly changing every single day because we've never experienced these times before. So there will be more information.
Awesome. Okay. So now what we wanted to do is, for some of you that are watching this, you have your own business already online. For some of you, you may have a brick and mortar business and you're like, wow, I'm stuck at home now. Could I potentially do something online as a side hustle? For some of you, you may not have a business and you may be just a professional that works at wherever you work, and you're thinking, okay, hey, this is taking a lot longer. I'm at home. Could I make some money? So what we wanted to do was go through just fairly quickly these different ideas that you could do to make money. And then on the next slide, I'm going to actually share with you the companies that are actually hiring right now. Okay. So one of the things, if you're good at proofreading, there's this URL here. You can go there and look and see what proofreading jobs. You could be a social media manager. If you want to pick my brain, I'm happy to be of service because I do social media management. Content writer. There's so many people out there that are always looking for good content writers, not only for blogs, but for online magazines, news articles. I mean, you name it. If you're a good writer, you can find piecework. Online teaching opportunities. And I'm actually going to share with you on the next slide, I believe, a company that's hiring right now for teachers for online schooling. And there's also VIPkid.com. Okay?
That's actually one of the companies I added, Angela.
Okay.
VIPkids.com is one that is actually hiring.
Okay, perfect.
Or excuse me, not kids. Kid.
Wonderful. Another thing, this is so cool, and I love this, is offer music or dance classes online. I personally have a client that has been teaching musicians online for 3 years. She's 69 years old. I taught her how to start doing Facebook Lives 3 years ago. And she teaches people musicians how to do pain management. So when this whole crisis started, she got bombed because she's in the music world and she knows all kinds of musicians and people that teach lessons. She got bombarded by people saying, how do I bring my studio online? So it's perfect if you know how to do anything related to music or dance clubs or yoga, anything. Cooking classes, okay? Coaching. If you have an area of expertise, you can coach people. You can make offers to other people. User testing. So if you want to do any, Glee, do you want to explain user testing?
Yeah, so usertesting.com, I learned so much doing all this research, and so did Angela. It actually is a website that hires people to give real-time feedback. So this company gets hired by companies and says, we want real-time feedback from real customers. So you could become one of those customers, maybe going to their website, trying it out for the first time, seeing what it's like to pretend to buy something. It's very cool, and they actually pay you.
Awesome. So one of the things that, well, I'll get to that. So let's talk about selling online trainings. So if you want to create a mastermind group, a virtual summit, all of those kind of things, reach out to Gleet and I if you want more information, because that's our world. You can sell gigs on Fiverr. Fiverr's great. I mean, anything you can think of, you can probably find on Fiverr people are looking for, and you have that expertise, you can sell your services.
Let me jump in case somebody doesn't know what that is.
Oh, sure.
Fiverr is actually a website, it's global, where people sell things from graphics, voiceovers, content writing, video making. I mean, anything you can imagine. And the secret to Fiverr is this. You start at like $5 for the most simplistic thing, and then you do add-ons if they want more. So some of the people I've used on there will get to $100 or $200, but it's very easy to become a seller on there.
And it's nice. You can make money. And right now, for some people, that extra $5, $10, $40, $100 pays groceries. So I think that's great. This is awesome. Writing book reviews.
Those are just two websites that I found that actually do book reviews. So you could get hired by them.
Rep.com. Oh my gosh, I love Rep.com. How many times have I sent my audio to Rep.com and it's transcribed? So people are hired to transcribe and to over things there. So that's a great. Um, ph- Photographers, there's a ton of websites online that are stock photos that you can actually sell your photos to. So if you take beautiful photos that you want to sell your photos to, and so other people like me who have a blog, I go on all these sites and I look for photos and I pay for photos for my blog. Um, if you're a graphic designer, even if you're someone that's not what you do for a living, but you're good at it, you can make logos, you can make social media graphics, you just put yourself out there. Online courses, you can create online courses. There's Skillshare you can use. Udemy, I never can say it right. Udemy. Um, so those are two places. There's also Teachable. There's Thinkific. There's so many. So
you actually record your course, upload it, put a price on it, and then people can buy it, and then you get a percentage. Of course, a percentage goes, and these are only two. There's so many more. And then the last two are very cool. I looked at those today, Angela. The last two actually are websites that people go that need tasks done from your home. So it could be clerical, it could be data entry, it could be checking out a website, giving feedback. It could be so many different things. And those two really are just almost like being a virtual assistant from your house.
And they're legit, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of this stuff we got from Entrepreneur Magazine. These are all up to date and just came out this week, just so you know.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so these are virtual companies that are hiring right now. So the ones that I personally know about that I've looked at are Amazon's hiring virtual, like customer service. Zoom is what we're using now. They're hiring people because all of a sudden with everybody at home,
Poof.
yeah.
Yep.
Slack,
Everyone's using Zoom now. It's crazy. It was our little secret for so long.
I know. Slack, which is like an app on your phone, and a lot of people worldwide use it. It's like a chat kind of functionality. Microsoft Teams. Galit and I just learned about Microsoft Teams. It's similar to like Slack and Zoom combined, sort of. They're hiring. Outschool.com is hiring. That's the one I was telling you about on another slide that actually is hiring teachers to teach children online because all these kids are home. Then Galit, I believe you added these.
Yes. So what I did was I found some articles that through Forbes magazine and Glassdoor that actually are new. You can see one's from March 1st, one's from March 22nd, and one is from February 19th. These links you'll be provided. So one of them is Home Jobs Now. One of them is the best tech companies for remote jobs. And one of them is the 10 best work from home for 2020. So there's lists here of, gosh, you've got about 40 different places that you can check out.
This is awesome. So I'm excited for you to do this. So, okay. This is a slide that I thought was really important that I put together. These are creative ways to make money from home. And I really like this list. And the reason I wanted to share this list with you, and I actually wrote a blog post about this, so you can go to my blog and read, because there's more. These are 15, but there's like 20 some. So here's why I'm sharing these with you. Some of these you can make money right away, like affiliate marketing. I mean, e-commerce, online course. But on the flip side, some of these you can start now. If you started these now as a side hustle, like in the next 60 to 90 days, you can have a full-fledged business up and going that becomes a passive income source for you, or a side hustle, even if you go back to work, that diversifies your income. So the reason I share this with you is if we ever go through something crazy again, or if there's a situation that arises for you, or who knows, like life can be unpredictable. If you have something else going that's bringing in money, then this can be a more long-term, and it's just great. I really believe in diversifying your income, and that's just my personal thing. And, of course, it's totally up to you. So I just wanted to go through these really quick. And then you're welcome to go to my blog post that I put up like last week, I think, or Monday. So the first thing is blogging. I love blogging. It's a great way to make money. You can blog, you can get advertisement on your site, you can sell courses, you can use blogging with affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is where, and I'm going to use Amazon as an example. You can go to Amazon, sign up as an affiliate, pick a link, anything that you want to like share. You can share it. You could put it on a website. You can share it. And if someone clicks on that and purchases, you get a certain percentage. And the nice thing about Amazon is they do this thing where they call cookie. They put a cookie on this person that came from your website, for example, to Amazon. And if they buy something else up to a certain point, like a certain time frame, you actually get paid on that thing. So for example, I want to share a funny story. I have a blog. I blog a lot of my blog. I blog about bullet journaling. So I have like art supplies on there. I had a person go to an art supply. They're like pens. And then they clicked on a bra that was a really expensive bra. They bought a bra and I got paid $7 for the fact that they bought the bra. And they bought like I got 30 cents on the pen. So it adds up. So it's really cool. So I just want to share that with you because that's fun. You could also start a YouTube channel and start recording videos. And once you get to a certain point, you can get paid on those videos from subscribers. You could do consulting. That's something you can start right now. If you're an expert in something and you want to offer your consulting services, you can get paid and you can charge quite a bit. Freelancing. This is where you can get paid to do anything freelancing, from being a writer, like writing for people. I mean, Galit, what about freelancing? Do you have any other suggestions on freelancing? My brain just went blank. I was thinking writing.
Oh, that's okay. You're doing awesome, Ange. I think with freelancing, you first need to say what's your area of expertise and who can use that service.
Right.
We don't realize sometimes the things that we're so good at that people will pay for that. So there are, I know right now this wouldn't work, but there are professional organizers and they get paid to organize. So think of people and what they're missing. Let's just say, let me make an example, meal planning.
Mm-hmm.
People are home trying to break their brains of what to make, but they want to be healthy. Maybe you could sell a meal planning service where you tell them, hey, what kind of things do you like to eat? And then you find them 30 recipes for the month. There's so many creative things that you can do for freelancing. You can also reach out to organizations that you know are essential businesses and think, oh, wait, they're so busy. What are they missing that I could do from home?
Mm-hmm.
That would be freelancing as well.
Love that. Thank you, Galit. Podcasting. Galit and I have a podcast. You can set up a podcast. You can talk on a subject that you are an expert on. You can interview other people. And as you grow larger and your influence grows, people will come to you and ask for advice. You can be a consultant, or you can actually get paid. Sponsors will pay you to run a little ad during one of your podcast episodes. So there's that. Online language translation services. So say that, someone in Japan or China or Spain wants to translate their stuff to English and you know that other language, you can get paid to do that. If you're good with tech and you know how to develop mobile apps, that's huge right now. I mean, you can make anywhere from $500 to up to $2,000 per mobile app. You could set up an e-commerce website. You could sell anything from printables to homemade candles to soaps to whatever that thing is that you're good at. You could create an online course. We've talked about that. That's my wheelhouse. If you have questions later, feel free to reach out to me. Digital marketing services. So if you're good with marketing, like I'm good with social media, if you know how to run Facebook ads or Google ads or anything like that, or if it's something that you've dabbled in, but you want to turn it into more of a side hustle, you can start at a lower price and say, hey, I'm learning, but I'm happy to take you on for, a lower price right now as you learn. You can teach English online. There's a big demand for that. You could write resumes. This is key. Right now, I have a client in Boston, and 3 years, I think it was 2017, she was named LinkedIn's like number 1 or number 2, I think it was number 1, career finder person, like helper. She gets hundreds of people asking, putting in requests through LinkedIn Pro to help them find another job or a better career. And part of what she does is resume writing. So she helps them, like, not only package themselves up right, but write resumes. And she does anywhere between 8 and 12 new clients a month based off of that. And she charges between $750 to $1,000 depending on the package, to do this. So that might be something if you're a good writer, because how many people are out of work? And I have no idea right now how many of those people will go back to their current job, or some may think, wow, okay, I've done a lot of reflection during this time. Maybe I don't want to go back to that job. Maybe I want to do something different. Maybe they need to reinvent themselves. Maybe some of them won't have a job to go back to. And it's like, okay, what do I do now? So if you're good at writing, this is perfect. You could actually go on LinkedIn, go into LinkedIn Pro Finder and put yourself out there as like a resume writer. Okay.
Perfect.
So,
Wonderful. Thanks,
yes, you are welcome.
LinkedIn is really a great source for business.
Mhm.
If you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn. I'm sure most of you are, if not all of you. And then what you can do is you can change your title to match what you're doing right now. That's happening a lot. And that way you can start advertising indirectly, which means you're starting to make posts about, let me just make this up. You want to be a virtual assistant. The benefits of having a virtual assistant, the benefit of having somebody write your emails, the benefit of having someone organize your events online. Whatever you're good at, you would be so surprised, because mostly, especially as women, we don't always believe we deserve to get paid for what we're good at. So I want you to kind of switch your mindset, and I want you to say, I know something somebody else doesn't. Who will pay me for that? That's a real key here with this creative ways to make money from home.
I want to suggest one other thing, real quick, and then I'll jump. You said something critical. What will people pay me for that I'm really good at? I also want to add to that. Think about, right now we're in this crisis, if you will. Think about what is the thing that people absolutely are needing right now that you can help with, that you're good at, and or the thing that they might need as we start to go out of the crisis, because so many lives have been disrupted. So think outside the box, which brings me to our next slide. Join our community. We would love to have you join our Facebook page and our private group. We actually have, so just Google Everyday Woman. We actually have a private group. So here's the thing. Join our Facebook page, but then join our private group, because it's our private group, but it's open to anyone that's an everyday woman. And if you want to brainstorm inside this group and share ideas that you may have come to you and you want some feedback on them from the group or from us, it's a group we just opened like last week or the week before. It's got just a few, it's an intimate group. So it's awesome. So the engagement's starting. It'll be really great. Come and join us. It has our little logo, Everyday Woman, with our purple bluish color, so you can't miss it. You can go to our Instagram, everydaywoman.me, and follow us. We always have beautiful sayings up there to keep you staying positive and motivated during this time. You can go on everydaywoman.me. You can listen to our podcast. We have 8 episodes that just went out. We have an online TV. We've got 8 episodes, not episodes, what are they called? 8 episodes or whatever, our online TV.
Yeah, episodes.
Yeah, and we have 8 more that will be coming shortly. We also have a free manifesto that you can see here.
This is actually it right here.
Yeah, you can download this for free. You can put it as a screensaver. You can print it. You can put it. I actually have mine as a screensaver on my computer and on
mine is on my wall.
Mm-hmm.
I have it right there.
Awesome. We have a free daily planner that you can download. It's got over 100 pages. It will keep you organized like you won't believe. It's awesome.
To-do lists, birthdays, goals, month by month calendars. I mean, there's so much in there. It's for 2020, so make sure you grab it soon. And yeah. I want to share, just because we got our book finally, and we're so excited about our book, so I'm just going to share it with you guys. It's actually a to-do book. So if you look at it, it has a quote on the side, and then it has an activity. And what Angela and I are really excited about is we're making it so affordable the Kindle's only $4.99. And what you get with that is you get access to our book club for 15 weeks. Every week we will have a Zoom call on one section of that book. So I'm just excited about that it got done and all that.
You know what? It went out of my head, Galit, because we're doing so much really cool stuff. What day is our book club going to be on?
April 14th. We're
Starting
starting April 14th. We're going to do them on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. They'll be about 30 minutes long, straight to the point.
Awesome. And then as we also have a Facebook group, and it's already have people in it that have joined the book club.
The book club.
Yeah. It's a Facebook group for the book club. So not only will we have the Zoom call every week to go through each chapter, and there's 15 chapters that we're going to be going through, you also have the benefit of having the Facebook group, so you can post stuff in there, talk in there, and interact with each other and us, of course. So it's very, very exciting. So if you want to be uplifted during this time and you want a supportive group of women, you want to go through this incredible book journey, it's really a journey, and really dig deep into yourself and do some soul searching and uplift yourself, then come join us. All you have to do is go to everydaywoman.me/book, and everything will be there. You can see.
Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. Okay. Anybody that's still on and wants to stay and say hi or talk, you don't have to. You can do that after we stop recording. Thank you for joining us today.